Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday. What is today? The 29th, 27th. Getting ahead of myself. 27th of December, 2017. And welcome to your noon live chat here on the Douglas Block Depression Recovery Station. Don't seem to be watching yet. I think I'm on public. I'm going to go check right now. But, oh, Robert Teague. Okay, you're there. Thank you, Robert. Oh, by the way, thank you again for your generous contribution. You know, Google takes about 10 or 12% of that. So maybe next time you should send me something using PayPal. Anyway, it's nice to see you. Any questions? How was your Christmas, Robert? By the way, what did you do on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve? Hi, Casey Smith. Nice to see you. What do you guys do on Christmas? How do you celebrate your Christmas holidays? It's a strange time in between Christmas and New Year's, isn't it? A lot of people are out of town on vacation. Haven't had many people coming to my groups, but it's a time when people are preparing for the new year. When I get enough people on here, I'll tell my joke. In the meantime, Forever Freak, hey, have a wonderful Christmas. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the last comment you said on the on my, I think it was the video I made on recovery, on weapon of comparison, comparing yourself to others. I think you mentioned that. Did you leave a comment there? I love your little Christmas tree. Thank you, Forever Freak. It was great. I met a chick at a party. She was fun. Well, hey, a little bit of pleasure never hurt anybody, especially when you suffer from depression. Anyway, it's again December 27th. It's Wednesday, our noon live chat, Wednesday and Sunday. Here we are on the internet, broadcasting all over the globe. Hi, Cade. Nice to see you. I love it when people spell my name D-O-U-G-H. So how was your Christmas? How did your Christmas go? And how was that anyway? Do you guys have a good time and really have a good experience? I hope so. The holidays are a mixed bag. Of course, a lot of people feel depressed and more down because they're supposed to be having fun and they're not. So it's not easy all the time to have fun on the holidays. But we are coming up to the new year, and I am doing a video. I'm taping a video this evening on how to welcome in the new year by, first of all, looking back over the previous year, letting go of the old, and welcoming in the new. And that's going to be posting this Monday, January 1st. I think you'll really like it. Can I file for disability for chemical dependency and anxiety? Young Habits 420. You can file for disability if your chemical dependency or your anxiety makes it impossible or very difficult for you to work. You probably want to consult a Social Security attorney for that, but yes, the answer is yes, you can. I don't know how old you are. It does take a while. You may have to go through a couple of appeals, but you can file for disability. Thank you for replying. Christmas was amazing. Though I was isolated, I hung out with my family now on a small trip, which will help the cabin fever. Oh, great. So I'm glad you're on the trip. That's good. Yeah, we've had cabin fever in Portland. It's been snowy and icy. I haven't been able to go out and walk. Haven't been able to go to my hot tub, so it's finally melting today. Thank goodness. Yes, I think we can see your beautiful face. Yeah, hey, Happy New Year, Danielle. Absolutely. How's your daughter, Annalise, doing? Nice to see you on the chat. What did I put? I must have had my, oh God. One thing I have to check to see if I have my cough drop. I'm still not over this cough. I think chewing some gum will help. Hey, John, are you there? Oh, well. Any questions, you guys? Sorry for this cough, man. Gotta get some water. Sorry about chewing the gum. What's up, Danielle, says Robert. Thanks. So I was trying to put up a profile. Kevin McCord, hi, how are you doing? Forever Freak says we never get snow and we're supposed to get some for the New Year's. Big deal. Big deal for us in Texas. Is your cold completely gone? Sounds better. The cold's gone, but this cough is still here. And I forgot to have my throat lozenge. And Joan's not around, so I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try chewing gum in the meantime. So, let me see. Did I tell this joke last time? Why did Santa's helper have low self-esteem? Why was Santa's helper depressed? He had low self-esteem. Did I tell that last time? Let me see if I can find a joke I haven't told. Let's go look over here in my book. Yeah. And guess what? Not in the book. And it should be. Well, we'll just have to wait, won't we? Well, I'll give the other joke that I told last time, and that is that why was the ornament addicted to Christmas? He was hooked on trees. All right. So, hey, Kevin, how are you feeling, by the way? Yeah, you were having a hard time last time. How are you doing now? We gave you a lot of encouragement. So, how are you all bringing the new year? How was 2017? It's important at the end of every year to take stock of the previous year, look at your successes, look at your losses, and then let go of what you don't want to bring in. Like I want to let go of my fear of relapse and then welcome in what you do want to bring in. 2018, I want to have more YouTube videos inspired to come through me. Want to do more of these live chats. Want to keep up my exercise. Are you guys making plans or setting goals for the new year? And are you taking stock of the old year here? Feeling better than usual, Robert. Thanks. Yes, Kevin. I know you're having a hard time. I really need help, says Casey Smith. 11 months of benzo and SSRI cold turkey. I feel rid. I feel my brain is ruined. Why did you go off these things cold turkey, Casey Smith? That's usually not the right thing to do. I usually list to go over them, very, very gradually. So I'm kind of curious what's going on here, why that happened to you. You're bedridden? That's really too bad. Are you able to get out of bed at all? Can you even walk around the block? Let us know how we might be able to help you, Casey. Struggling with anxiety? Well, yeah, that's really bad. Have you tried intense exercise, Kevin? Have you tried putting your face in cold water and holding your breath? That's, always an excellent thing to do. It's from DBT. If you send me your email address, Kevin, if you email me douglasblock@gmail.com, if you send an email address here, I will go ahead and send you a handout on how to use cold water to reduce anxiety. It's very, very powerful. So, yeah, that would be great. Arcade Cup, greetings. Hey, how is it in Green Bay? Pretty cold there? You had no help when you were in grad school. 11 months, go to the hospital, says Danielle. Yeah, if you are having withdrawal symptoms from these situations, are you seeing a psychiatrist? Do you have a med prescriber? Maybe you could go on something that could help calm you down while you're detoxing the stuff from your system. Yeah, you need to get some help, Casey. And what help are you getting right now? Are you seeing any sort of prescriber? I'd really like to know. All right. Casey, speak up. We'd love to help you and give you some good advice. Speaking of 2018 on the horizon, Greg Sandler says, speaking of letting go with 2018 on the horizon, are familiar with the Sedona method? I've heard of the Sedona method. It's been around for a while. Why don't you explain something of that to me? I would really like to know about it more. Not seeing when they just give more meds, damage is done. Well, what about seeing an acupuncturist, KC? That can really help balance out your body. Taking some Chinese herbs. There's got to be something you can do besides waiting around. Serenity Boo, how to start exercising when you're afraid of physical symptoms such as increased heart and pounding heart. I can't seem to get over these feelings. That's obviously something anxiety, Serenity Boo. You might want to see an anxiety a psychologist, someone who treats that. What about starting just walking around the block and doing some slow walking where your heart doesn't get raised that much, some brisk walking, and then maybe build up to it. Maybe you could go on a treadmill, Serenity Boo, and get your heart rate up to like 120 really low, and then 123 to 124, and increase it really gradually. Kind of like getting in a shower and gradually turning on the hot water instead of jumping in hot. So how does that sound? But yeah, otherwise you can go to an anxiety person. Maybe you could take some anxiety medication. You know what helps? Propranolol. That's a beta blocker, but it will slow down your heart rate. And you may want to talk to do you have a prescriber, Serenity Boo? Talk to your prescriber about propranolol. That may be very, very helpful. What do you think about focusing on the worry till it bores you, says Thomas. Well, that's an interesting idea. You mean getting sick of it? You worry, 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 and then you finally get sick of it? That's an interesting idea. I never thought of that. Kevin McCourt says, do anxiety attacks get less frequent as time goes on? Your videos really help my anxiety. I'm doing the right things. Yeah, I have a video coming out on January 8th called You Can Be Restored. Yes, your anxiety can go away. But anxiety is a kind of a crazy thing. You might want to watch this video, Kevin, called How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. It's on, just type that into my the video search on my channel. And Kevin, if you watch that, there are two types of anxiety. One is the anxiety caused by worried thinking, which is in your prefrontal cortex, and the other is the anxiety caused by the amygdala, which is in your midbrain, which is a sentinel of fear. One type of anxiety you change by changing your thinking. The other you change by changing your physiology, like intense exercise or even taking medication. So I don't know which one you have more, but yes, it can get better. Go to Benzo Buddies on the internet. I will after this. What is on there? Thomas, what do you think about focusing on the worry till bored you? Yeah, I said that was an interesting idea. Have not seen lectures about anything, but I'm trying to exercise and do crafts, color, and sing more because it releases an abundance of endorphins. Yes, it does, Forever Freak. Those are really good ideas. Can you talk about Benzo Buddies? I don't know anything about it. Why don't you tell me about it? I don't know. I'll look it up after this live chat is over. Serenity Bruce says, I've been to 2 different psychologists. I've been struggling with anxiety for about 4 years now. Since I was 18, I do take propanol, 10 milligrams twice every day. Well, that's a good start. Just keep working with your psychologist. And what about some meditation? Do you, Serenity Brew, do you mindfulness meditation where every day you spend 10, 15 minutes just following your breath, and if your thoughts wander, bring it back to the breath. That can be very calming for the nervous system. Robert Teague says, yeah, same here, Freak. I've been working out and focusing on myself, been doing real good. I got a bright future. I can see it. Things are going to skyrocket soon. Well, Robert Teague, you don't want them to skyrocket because what goes up must come down. How about gradually get better? How's that? What is your diagnosis, Robert Teague? Are you bipolar? I hope not, because you don't want to skyrocket if you're bipolar, because, like Icarus, who flew too close to the sun, you're going to crash. So, yeah, you want to make really sure that you don't do that. Stay strong, Casey. You will improve, says Cade. Serenity Boo, I do try staying away from medication, though. I'm thinking about changing my lifestyle up a bit, being busy. Well, Serenity Boo, I have a video that says my best advice for avoiding anxiety is, in fact, exercise. Not exercise, being occupied, excuse me. Well, exercise helps also, but yes, being busy really helps because it gives your mind something to focus on besides your own inner thoughts, which can really lead you to some dark places. Greg Sandler, the Sedona method is asking yourself a few questions. Could I let this feeling go? Could I allow this feeling to be here? Could I welcome this feeling when? Okay, well, that's like the Socratic method. It's not a bad idea. I'll read more about it. But what I do is I have something called a burning bowl ceremony, where I take everything I want to let go and I write it on a piece of paper and then I hold it over a flame and let it burn. It's a very powerful way of symbolically releasing the past and what you don't want. If you tune in, what is today, the 27th? 5 days from now, 8/9/31, yeah. 5 days from now on January 1st, I will have a video on this coming Monday on how to release the old and welcome in the new year, showing this burning bowl ceremony where you literally write what you don't want anymore and you light fire to it and it disappears. Serenity Boo says, I do meditation 20 minutes a day. Wow, so you're doing a lot of good stuff. Yeah, up to 40 minutes. Wow, you are really, really working your recovery program. I'm very impressed, Serenity Boo. Greg Sandler says, hey, Doug, I may have asked this question in the past, but do you have any advice on socializing in group settings? At my work coverage all day, it's difficult for me to keep up and contribute. You have asked that question. Well, what I would do, Greg Sandler, is I try to meet people one-on-one. I try to invite someone for coffee or lunch, make the group smaller. We had a new guy coming to our group last night who has social anxiety. Fortunately, only 3 people showed up because of the winter holidays. He was much more comfortable meeting people with 1 or 2 people besides him than 11 or 12. So I would say start socializing with small groups and see what happens. Thank you. Have the mental akathisia, which makes me so agitated. I'm not quite sure what mental agitation is, mental akathisia. Akathisia is a physiological response where you're restless and you're jumping up and down, you can't move. It comes out physically. I guess when you say mental akathisia, you must mean that your mind is racing and you can't stop it. Exercise, exercise, exercise. Ride your bike up a hill, 7-8% grade for 20 minutes. Your mind won't be spinning. You'll be too busy trying to get your next breath. I love meditating and exercising. Wow. Excellent. Benzo Buddies is a support group for people coming off benzodiazepines. That's what it sounded like, Kate. That's excellent. I have never had that problem, but there obviously are a lot of people, so I hope you guys are making use of that. Robert T says, I've been low for a few months, so I'm ready for another high flight. Up, I'll crash later. LO, I'm getting pretty good with damage control, so maybe I'll be better next time. LOL. So Robert T, do you have bipolar disorder? Do you have manic depression? I'd really like to know. Arcade Cup, watch It's a Wonderful Life. What I got out of it so much, but mainly for me to never forget the payoff I'm getting of sobriety. I'll become a monster and lose all the good things if I drink. Well, Arcade Cup, a lot of people who are alcoholics say the same thing. Are you going to A? Are you going to 12-step meetings? Let me know. Have you ever been in touch with Noah? He went home from being treated for rhabdo. He posted, I called him. No, I've been texting him. He said he's having a hard time since he got out of the hospital. I've been asking him to have lunch with me. I said I would take him out to lunch. He hasn't gotten back to me. I don't know, but thank you. He did a video yesterday. He said it's been difficult after getting out of the hospital. Forever Freak, have you, what's your update on Noah? Have you seen his latest video? How is he doing? We have texted, but I haven't been able to connect with him in person. For me, to drink is to die again and be in hell. Well, Arcade Cup, you know that, so good for you. I guess you're going to be sober the rest of your life. Serenity Blue says, yeah, I do my best to recover. It'd be a shame for me to give up at the age of 22. Man, God, you're not even born yet. Oh, my God. 22 is like 5 lifetimes ago for me. I'm 68, so no, you can't give up at 22. You haven't even started out in life yet. I'm dreaming of getting a degree in theoretical physics or mathematics. Well, you've got a good head on your shoulder. I got a degree in math, actually. I just feel lost when my progress is going nowhere. Well, be patient. Put on your patience, Forever Freak. Serenity Boo, excuse me. Yeah, are you seeing a therapist? Let me know. If you want to do something in theoretical mathematics, you've got a good mind. Seems to be doing better now. Good. Claudio Strazia, haven't heard from you before. Staying busy and having activity, keeping your mind working is the best thing you could ever do. A job where you work with people, also very mentally good. Claudie, I don't know how to, it's probably French, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Yes, working with people, getting focused outside of yourself, focusing attention from in here to out there, that's what you want to do. Well, It's a Wonderful Life is no good if you don't have any friends. Well, that's true. A lot of people don't, but you can learn to make friends, I believe. Have you thought of joining any support groups? Daniel Pate says, in mid-January, I'll be 4 years since panic disorder was induced. Too long? Well, I don't know. How are you dealing with it right now? You're not panicking every day, are you, Danielle? You obviously are still, working on it, and you're still, hey, I've had a really difficult December. This stuff, mood disorders never go away completely. You're always working on something. So it depends on how extreme it is. You are working and you are able to function, Danielle, I think. So, keep on keeping on. You're making progress. Any tips on getting through the nausea? Yeah, look down and put your head between your legs and take some Dramamine. Sorry about the car accident, because you must be driving somewhere with your family. Robert T says, I'm not bipolar, but I suffer from chronic depression that usually occurs after women destroy my heart, after I chase them being needy, insecure, and jealous, but I'm working on that. Well, excellent. Well, you know that I did a video which is extremely popular called The #1 Cause of Depression, loss of love, rejection by a woman, rejection by a man, divorce, breakup of a relationship. So I can relate to you, Robert. But if you're needy and you're trying to pursue women, they're going to pick that up and they're going to leave. So it's good that you're working on your own neediness. Are you in therapy doing that? I hope you are. Greg Sandler says, you missed my question. Could you recommend any books on socializing and social anxiety? Darn, that's a good question, Greg. I have a book called The Anxiety and Phobia Workbook I recommend to everybody, but that has something about social anxiety in it. It's called The Anxiety and Phobia Workbook. But I'll tell you what, Greg Sandler, go to a website, type in, let's see if I can do this here. Type in a publisher called New Harbinger Press. They're a self-help psychology publisher in the United States in Oakland, California. And they have books on every mental disorder or condition you can think of. So, Greg, go search New Harbinger Press on Google. go to their website. I guarantee you they have a book on social anxiety. Or, yeah, Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's an old classic. But yeah, or put social anxiety books and go to Amazon. There must be dozens. I haven't read them because I don't have social anxiety, but I've been promising people that I would do a video on that, so I probably need to get started. So if anybody out there knows a book on social anxiety that I could read, I would really appreciate that. Would be really great. Oh, speaking of your nausea, whoever mentioned that to me, that they're having some nausea right now, this reminds me of a woman I know who went to a doctor with a bad case of diarrhea. And she said, "What should I do?" And the doctor said, "Well, just let it run its course." Not bad, huh? Thank you, Doug. Yeah, go to New Harbinger Press, Greg. That would be really cool. How to Make Friends and Influence People. You might try reading that. I don't know, how helpful that would be, but that is really a classic book, and you might get something out of it. But I would definitely get a book specifically on New Harbinger Press, by New Harbinger Press, one of their publishers. You like that, huh? Okay, so if you want to email me, this is how you do it. Any questions? There we have it. Happy holidays, April Villamil. April Villamil. Abril. What part of the world are you from? That would be very, very interesting. By the way, Greg, I used to have social anxiety when I was a kid. I was very shy. I felt very awkward. And then when I went to New York University when I was 20 years old, I used to go up to women who were sitting in the beautiful mall reading their books, and I would just force myself to talk to them. I'd say, "Hi, what's that you're reading? What course is it for? Do you like it?" And I'd force myself to engage in maybe 3 or 4 minutes of conversation, and I'd walk on and go to the next person. Just forcing yourself to interact with people in small numbers really helps. That was very helpful, Doug. Thank you. What did I actually say, Forever Freak? Put your head down between your legs and to overcome nausea, or take Dramamine. Yeah, Dramamine is very helpful. I'm seeing a life coach who's teaching me how to understand women and be a man. Well, that's good. Are you pleased with your life coach, Robert? Life coaches can be very helpful if they know what they're doing. I'm doing that with women. I now write my phone number and hand it to them. Well, that's very good. You just go up to women randomly and just talk to them just to get over your fear of socializing. As long as you're not coming on to them, just to talk, just to connect. That's what we're about, connecting. Human beings need to connect. You know that married couples live longer than couples who are single, or people who are single. I mean, there's something about human bonding. We're hardwired for connection. We're mammals. We give birth to live young. Babies cannot exist without their mothers or fathers. We are dependent upon each other. And, this whole idea of the rugged individualist of America, that's a big myth. Nobody accomplished anything on their own. Go look at the Oscars one time and see how many people thank when they get nominated or they get an Oscar win. How many people help them out? Everything is collaborative. Okay, Doug, you missed my last message. Well, that's because they're coming in 1,000,000 miles an hour, Serenity Brew. Do you mind repeating it? Believe me, I hate to. I wasn't trying to skip over you. Say it again, because I see now. No, I'm trying to figure out how to go ahead and go back to early messages, and I can't quite figure it out. So you'll just have to go ahead and repeat that message again, Serenity Boo. I really apologize. Will this help? No. I just don't know how to get back to early messages. So repeat it. That would be a good thing. So we're coming up to the new year. What kind of things do you want to let go? What do you want to let go of for the coming year? Do you want to let go of worry? Do you want to let go of fear of relapse? Do you want to let go of being isolated? Do you want to let go of eating poorly or not exercising? Yeah, those are important things. Okay, I stopped seeing my therapist about a year ago. It's too expensive for a student in Ireland. Oh, another person from the UK. Wow. I feel like you would enjoy some videos from Mark Freeman. His advice and metaphors are excellent. It helps. Thank you, Serenity Brew. What does Mark Freeman talk about? What's his, is it a psychology YouTube channel, or what is he actually, is he working with mental health like I am? Social anxiety, Arcade Cup. Well, that's great. If you have social anxiety and you're going up to people and just starting conversations, I highly recommend it, highly recommend it. By the way, did you hear about the man who went to the doctor. The doctor said, I have bad news and worse news. The man said, what's the bad news? The doctor said the bad news is you only have 1 day to live. Wow, said the patient, what could be worse? What's the worst news? The doctor says, well, I've been trying to get a hold of you for the past 24 hours. I thought that was cute. So, T-Mac, hey! 0192, I don't know what it means, but I love hope you're doing well. Well, I've been struggling in December. It's not, I'll be very happy when the first of the year comes and when the snow and ice melts and I can go out and start riding my bike again. I've been having cabin fever, to quote, I don't know who it was, maybe Serenity Boo or the Forever Freak. One of you guys said you had cabin fever. I don't want to let go of being isolated. That's the best way to accomplish that. What's the best way to accomplish that? Cesar, you need to go ahead and find a support group to join, or do what Arcade Cup is doing, go up to people and just start randomly chatting with them. That would be a really, really good thing to do. Or, go into counseling and get some advice and tips. But yes, being isolated is no fun. Serenity Boo, OCD, anxiety, depression, its channel on YouTube. It's been helping me a lot. Mark Freeman. Hey, can you email that to me? You have got my email address there. I wrote it down. Here it is again. DouglasBlock@gmail.com. By the way, I wanted to mention two things. One is my book here, Healing from Depression. I know some of you have had it and looked at it. It's a really good compendium. And the other thing is, I think I mentioned before, I've started a Patreon channel, which is a way for me to kind of raise some funds to pay for these videos, which I have to pay other people for to film and edit them. And so if you go become a Patreon member for as little as $2 a month, you can go ahead and receive things like free ebooks and free one-on-one counseling and answers to your questions and free print books. So it's a really good deal. Excuse me. I need to turn on the heater in my room. I hope you don't mind the sound, guys. Right here. Friggin' cold. Let me know if that's obnoxious, okay? It is obnoxious. I'm going to turn it off. So anyway, have I ever heard of audio with binaural beats? I've heard of it. What is it about and how does it help? I'd really like to know. Can we get a signed copy of your book? Yeah, if you go ahead and pay me by PayPal. Actually, if you, I think if you donate $15 a month on my channel, you can get a signed copy. I know that's a lot for some people, so don't think you have to do it. But that's one way you get a signed copy of the book. The other way is you just send me $25 in the mail to cover postage, or send me $25 by PayPal with your address, and I'll send you a signed copy of my book. So those are two ways, because the book is $20 and I have to basically pay for postage. So to get a signed copy, either PayPal me or send me $25, or go to my Patreon website and pledge $15 a month. Would you do an audiobook version? I'd love to do an audiobook version, but it's at 400 pages. I couldn't read it. I'd stumble too much. You have to pay somebody to do that. Hey, Forever, where are you from? I would love a signed copy. But I'm listening to a podcast with you, Doug, as a featured guest. It's a good listen. What podcast is that? I'm not on any podcast. Am I, Forever Freak? Are you talking about this? Let me know what podcast you're listening to, Forever Freak. I didn't even know I made a podcast. I really like Mark Freeman's channel too, says GMAC. There's also a great YouTube channel called The OCD Stories that interviews different people experience and what's helped them to recover. That's great. I need to have a pen here. Darn it. Okay, so that's one of the things I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to have a pen. You know what I'll do? I'll take a screenshot. That's what I'll do right now. Watch this. Command Option 3. Didn't work. Let me try one. Maybe it's Command Shift. Not working, guys. Okay. Is someone rebroadcasting Douglas? That's what Arcade Cops. Yeah, what podcast? That's. I didn't even know I was ever interviewed in the first place. That's kind of strange. I'm going to try one more time. Okay, can't get a screenshot. Mark Freeman and OCD Stories. Okay, I'm going to have to just remember that before I get off. Unless someone, would you like to email that to me, one of you guys? Mark Freeman's channel and OCD Stories. That would be really great. You've got my email address. So, let's get back to this idea of letting go of the old for the new year. No one's really told me what they want to let go of. That would be really great if I could hear some ideas about what you're ready to release that's getting in your way from mental health recovery. Serenity Abu says, I did what? JK, my mom had type 2 bipolar manic relapse from expired insulin. What a very unpredictable illness bipolar can be. Absolutely. What do you mean by expired insulin? Did she not take her insulin? I'm confused about that. If you have diabetes type 1 or type 2, you need to stay on your insulin. Otherwise, your pancreas and your blood sugar is going to all get out of balance. And blood sugar out of balance can definitely bring upon bipolar disorder and mania. Still waiting to hear what kind of podcast you're listening to. You sent Mark's channel my email. Excellent, Serenity Boo. Excellent. Nice work. Thank you. I want to rid myself of lying to myself, becoming more self-aware. Well, psychotherapy is a great way to change habits like that. First, you have to decide why you're lying to yourself. What do you not want to face, and then have the courage to face that. You know, when you face something and you think it's going to be bad, it's actually, you know, the anticipation of you know, and the avoiding of it is much more anxiety producing than actually facing it. So I'd get a good therapist and work on that, Anthony. Finding a wife is my goal right now, besides a new car. That's really funny. You lumped them in the same sense, Arcade Cup. You mean you're going to go to a used wife lot and find a used wife, like a used car lot? That seems kind of funny. But no, we all want partnership. We all want connection. That's part of the human need. After 40-some days of insulin expires and is less effective. Is that true? I don't believe it. My best friend's been a type 1 diabetic for 11 years. He takes insulin multiple times a day and it still seems to be effective. So I've never heard of insulin wearing out, but I'm not an endocrinologist, so I wouldn't know. G-Max says, amen, Anthony, for sure. Arcade Cup, I think we all need something to look forward to, something new. You read Arcade Cup. You've read my book, right? Okay, so so Arcade Cup, there's a video I made. What are the 3 things we all need in life? Something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to. I heard that at a seminar once from a motivational speaker. I never forgot it. I'm even going to write that down. The 3 things everybody needs in life. I don't know if I'll be able to write it down, but something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to. Let me see if I can get down to my little chat here. Got the cursor going? Okay. See if I can use my FN function. I'm waiting for the microphone to come on my screen so I can actually talk this instead of piking it. It's not going to work. Something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to. Oh well, I'll have to type it out. Oh no, I got it. Something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to. Wow, wasn't that cool? There it is right there, the 3 things everybody needs. All right, next question. His Grace is Love. Hey, nice to see you again. The best gift I got all year was discovering your work on depression. It saved my life. Wow, I'll be sending you a gift soon for everything you've done for me. His Grace is Love. That's very kind. You know what the greatest gift you could send to me is? Instead of a one-time gift, you could sign up as a sustainer on the Patreon channel. That would be a really wonderful New Year's gift for me, because, you know, by getting like regular pledges every month, even if it's $5, it helps me build up a base so I know how much money I can spend on these videos. As I say, they're not free. So I'm gonna actually type up my Patreon website, His Grace is Love. If you want to join the Patreon community, that would be a great thing. So here it is, https://www.patreon.com/DOUGLASPLOCH. If you want to make a gift, that's where you can go. That would be very, very good, very helpful. Thank you, Forever Freak. That would be very helpful if you could do that. I guess it was a show of Dr. Nyman, Health Watch. It was a recording. Yes, that's right. Did you find that on my website, Forever Freak? I did interview with Dr. Nyman. You're right. It must be on my website somewhere. Holly, right now I have my cat. I think it's a good substitute. My hairy daughter. Very funny arcade cup. I have a cat named Bruce. We're doing a video on him soon. He's very cute. Good to see you again, Dave Piquel. Wow, we had a conversation over the phone. Did you get the link I sent you to Patreon? I hope you did. Maybe you'll end up joining our Patreon community. That would be really cool. Are you gay, Kid Andre? I don't know who you're referring to me. No, I'm not gay. I like gay people. I work with them. You know, they're very sensitive souls. Wow. I checked out Big No No's recent video talking about you and how he looked up to you. It was quite nice. Thank you. What was the you did just join? Well, how come I didn't get a notice about it? How long ago was it? Anyway, TMAC0192, thank you. I gotta watch. Is this the video that you made when he came out of the hospital? That's really cool. You inspired me to get on the elliptical. Dave, is your picture of Snanobi? Never heard of that. Well, I don't know what arcade cup you're mentioning to, because anyway, yes, so the new year is coming up. I still want to know what you guys are planning to do, what your new goals are. I haven't heard from you guys at all. Twisted Sister, yes, your real name is Heather. I love that name. Thank you so much for I don't know, did you email me, or did you just have a conversation on YouTube? Anyway, I love your YouTube name, and I love your regular name. Nice to see you, Twisted Sister. How are you doing right now? How is the new year looking towards you? Are you looking forward to 2018? How is 2017? Do you kind of regret? Used to love Shinobi and Time Zone. Well, Shinobi obviously is a character. Time Zone is actually a TV show or something. I know nothing about any of them. If you want to explain to me, that would be good. But anyway, Twisted Sister, how's 2017 been, and what are you looking forward to this year? So, I think I want to talk about then 3 things we should all have as goals for the new year in terms of basic self-care. We should have as a goal to get good sleep, to have sufficient exercise, and to make sure we're eating well and loving our body. I have a new video coming out called What Sickness Does to the Depressed Mind. Has anyone noticed when you get physically ill, your mood starts to go south, you start to get pessimistic and gloomy and fearful? Even people without mental illness, when they get sick, they start to feel more hopeless and despairing. I have a good friend right now who lives by herself, and she got really ill during the holidays. There was no family by her. She had nobody to call. She was just alone in bed, hardly able to breathe. I mean, she could have called 911, but it just exacerbated or amplified her sense of isolation, being sick and being hopeless and helpless, and not having anybody there. So what do you guys think about that? Doesn't a physical illness make your mental illness worse? Okay. I don't know what TBH means, Twisted Sister, but anyway, I used paraliminals for learning strategies. It's audio ranging for 10-20 minutes. I used one left ear, one the right ear. They deal with a slew of self-help topics. They use binaural beats. I still don't know what quite that is, but let me know. Yeah, so the whole idea of being ill, physically ill, making your mental systems worse. Speak up, somebody tell me. Anyway, that's what my video is on. The other video that I'm coming out with is called You Can Be Restored. I don't care how far down you've been. I don't care how much how much depression you've suffered. I don't care how many mental hospitals you've been in. I've been in 5. You can resurrect and come back and start to feel good again. So that is the message here. Okay, it's mental stability, who I look up and why. Thank you, TMACO192. I appreciate that. I'll definitely look at that video from Big No No. Thank you so much. JK says, my first thought when I get a bad cold or flu is that I really take my good health for granted when I have it. That's true. We all feel that way. Binaural beats must be beats at a certain frequency and reaches your non-conscious mind. I've heard about that. So many people I know, including me, are grieving this Christmas. Yeah, there's a lot of grief going on. I had a friend who in 2015-16 saved my life by taking me to all my medical appointments, taking me to the hospital where I got ECT. He did everything for me. He died on Saturday of liver cancer. He chose what we call in Oregon death with dignity, you know, and he was terminal. He was only going to live another month anyway, and I mean, I was with him on Thursday, and Saturday he was gone. I mean, I'm still in a state of shock. Has anybody ever been with someone the day they died? I was, and an old friend. I mean, God, loss is so tough. So yes, I'm in grieving also, Dave Pickell, for that. Serenity Boo says, does it matter how long you've suffered with anxiety and depression? Can't remember how I felt before I became anxious and depressed wreck. I don't know, how long have you been suffering from it? I mean, no, it doesn't. Resurrection and restoration are always available in the moment. The past does not determine the future, Serenity Boo. Just because you know, in the past you went ahead and you've had this for a while doesn't mean that tomorrow can't be a better day. That I can tell you from experience. I just watched that video, said Anthony Timaco 192. Oh man, I'm sorry, yeah, Anthony was nice, right? I guess the video was nice, right? Hey, Twisted. Thank you for sharing that, Doe, or Doug. Yes, so a good friend of mine who I owe my life to, we used to take walks together. He took me out for dinner every Friday night, got me out of the house, focused off the suicidal thoughts, was there to answer my phone calls, essentially was my guardian angel, died on Saturday at the age of 69. I mean, what can you do, you know? Thank you, Twisted Sister, for the condolences. Yeah, he had a wonderful partner that he lived with for many years. I don't know how she's doing. I'm going to check up with her tomorrow, actually, to see what's going on, because this is, you know, a huge loss to lose a husband or a wife or a spouse or a domestic partner, you know, especially when she also is in her later years. So, you know, life is hard. Life is difficult. That's what M. Scott Peck said in The Road Less Traveled. But it also says in the book of Psalms, they who sow in tears shall reap in joy. So joy can follow sorrow, believe me. Oh, yeah. Holly, are we going to see you tomorrow for a group? I was going to call you actually today to see if you're still in town. Yeah. So it is 42 after the hour. At 1 o'clock, I have a client who's calling me from Portland, Maine for a long overdue coaching session. I helped him get out of a really, really bad and toxic relationship, and he's starting his life all over again. That was 14 years down in the dumps. So, you know, I don't care how long you've been struggling, there is a possibility of a rebirth. So that means I'm going to end at 12:50 my time instead of going the whole hour, because I need 10 minutes to decompress and get ready for this. So we have about 7 minutes left. Thank you for your condolences, you guys. Yes, the loss of a good friend, you know. And Holly, how are your, you know, I know you had some friends who've been really down and really desperate, and I know you were really trying to be there for them. You can tell me now over the live chat, or we can talk later, but I'd like to know how that worked out. Are your friends doing any better? Because, you know, that level of suffering, I only know too well. Greg says, I love Portland, Oregon, and Portland, Maine. Have you been to both of them? Interesting. Question to ask yourself, is the little boy where you're proud of man? Okay, I'm trying to read what you're having to say here. Is the little boy you were proud of the man you are? I guess so. I'm not quite sure I understand the question, Thomas, but yes. Speaking of little boys, we all have a little boy and little girl inside of us, and part of taking care of our inner child and loving ourselves internally, that's part of the recovery process. So many people with depression are down on themselves. They don't like themselves. They hate themselves. They loathe themselves. This is not good. We have to be compassionate with ourselves, to show ourselves loving kindness, as they say in Buddhism. You know, self-compassion. There's a whole book called Self-Compassion. I have a video on it. So for New Year's, for 2018, why don't we all practice some more self-compassion? Why don't we all practice some self-forgiveness and forgive ourselves from our mistakes and stop holding on to regret or beating ourselves up? That would be a great thing to reduce anxiety and depression in the world if we could all do that. What do you think about that? I'll be at Group If the Roads Are Not Icy. Well, Holly, tomorrow it's going to be rainy and in the 40s. There will be no more ice on Thursday night. I will look forward to seeing you, and we might have a new guy coming, get some male energy. Right now it's 9 women and 1 man. We got to get some more male energy. But Bye-bye, Doug. Thank you for your help. My condolences to your friend. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you, Greg Sandler. It's a pleasure. Send me an email sometime. Let me know how you're doing. That goes on the inner child subject. Keep him happy by doing the things you love to do. Thank you, Claudio. Yes, absolutely. My inner child loves to go on bicycles. I liked to cycle when I was 8. I'm now doing it at 68. So, yes, and Happy New Year to you, Greg Sandler. Happy New Year to everybody. I am doing a video chat on Sunday, New Year's Eve day, December 31st. That's when we'll really get into the Happy New Year's and the goals for the next year. But so in 4 days, come at 12 o'clock Pacific time, and we'll be saying goodbye to the old year and bringing in the new. There's something, is it called ringing out the old year or something like that? Anyway, December 31st, the last live chat of 2017, we will be welcoming in the new year, all of us together in community online. One friend is stable there, stopped communicating with me. Well, that's good. Hey, do I bike in the snow with snow tires? Of course. No way. Don't be ridiculous. I do have seen people bicycling in Portland in the snow and ice, but they have a death wish, in my opinion. A couple more coughs before we sign off. So, any more people at group? Robert Teague, I hope you don't get too high and crash. I know you've been in some desperate places. By the way, before we go, does anyone want to make a quick donation on Super Chat right here? See how it says send a Super Chat? You just click on that $sign, maybe $1 or $2. Just a token of your appreciation for what we're doing here. Anyway, it's your call. It would be nice, however. So, any other questions in the last 3 minutes that we have here? And that would be really, really good to get a final question from you. In the meantime, I'll talk more about the weapon of comparison. Remember, you are running your own race. You are not here to beat anybody out. You don't have to get a title. You don't have to have a PhD. I don't have a PhD. I'm not a medical doctor, but with this YouTube, ministry I have, and it is a ministry, I know I'm reaching a lot of people. So wherever you are, you can be doing good in the world. You don't need to be famous or wealthy or beautiful. Right where you are with your child or your friend or the people at work, right in your place, you can be the best person you can be and the most loving person you can be. So you make a difference. You matter. Tell yourself that. You don't have to worry about how other people are performing or who's doing better than you or who's making more money than you or who's more successful than you. Just love yourself as you are, where you are, and do what you can to make the world a better place. And that's, by the way, I'll sign off with my final kind of praise of the movie that Arcade Cop watched, which I have not watched yet, A Wonderful Life. There's Everyman. There's Jimmy Stewart running the Bailey Loan Corporation, giving people housing, and sacrificing himself for the benefit of others. Like he's like a Christ figure. The other figure I recommend, thank you, Arcade Cup. Thank you so much. Appreciate the thought for your $1. Anyway, how do I find the motivation when I'm coming out of a depressive episode, Anthony? I just go ahead and tell myself that, I want to get better and I'm going to do what it takes. The other thing I want to recommend is, if you haven't seen it, see The Man Who Invented Christmas. It's a great movie about how Charles Dickens wrote The Christmas Carol. And then I saw that movie, and 2 days later I saw the film A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sim, 1951, the best one ever. Does anybody like The Christmas Carol like me? Love that film. Love It's a Wonderful Life. Those are two films on the meaning of Christmas, about giving and giving love. That's the essence of what this season's all about. This too shall pass, Claudio. Yes. Is it healthy to continue to go to work school when your depression accepts you better? Should you take a break? I basically tell myself that time doesn't stop, so I just continue. I think you should stay TMACA192, going to work as long as you can, because being out there helps your depression. Functioning helps your depression. If you find the depression so bad that you can't concentrate at school and you're getting bad grades and you can't perform your task at work, then take a leave of absence and work on the depression. But as long as you can keep soldiering on, I think it's a good idea. Do you have a therapist? Can you ask the therapist out, or your prescriber? But yeah, continuing being in the world, even if you're hurting. I have a video I posted about 3 months ago called "I'd rather be depressed and walking around than lying in bed doing nothing. So I think it's good that you're continuing. You don't remember Christmas Carol? Arcade Cup? Go to youtube.com. I think I have your email. Send me an email and I will send you the link to it's on YouTube, 1 hour and 22 minutes. You must watch this video. You watched A Wonderful Life, you must watch A Christmas Carol. Stay online, Arcade Cup, okay? On list, I'm not quite sure what that means. Great question. I don't know what the question was, but about continuing work. Yeah, continue work if you can, if you can still function and make a contribution. Well, it's 50 minutes and 34 seconds. I'm getting a call in 9 minutes. Anybody have any final questions before we meet with you all on December 31st at noon Pacific time to say goodbye to the old year and bring in the new? Remember, you can be restored. Depression is treatable. Anxiety is treatable. Never give up. Where there's life, there's hope. I've been suicidal 6 or 7 times. I've been hospitalized 5 times. I'm still kicking and screaming at 68. And, recovery is possible and people do it all the time. So thank you all for joining in. Thank you for working your program. Thank you for setting the intention to heal and wanting to feel better and doing whatever you can. I know it's a rough road to hoe. I've been doing it for half a century. It's tough, but there are intermittent breaks. There are moments of joy. So before we all go to bed, let's write down 3 things we're thankful for, 3 things that went well today. That's a good exercise. Can I ask you some questions, Arcade Cup? Yeah, you guys can continue. Stay strong. Sure, I'll hang up. Okay, hang out. So Arcade Cup and Cade, both you have the name Cade in your names. Go ahead and chat after I sign off, and I will look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and I hope you guys have a happy holiday season, what remains of it. Thanks a lot. Remember, you can stay on and chat with each other another couple of minutes.